Move over, Ann Coulter. We've got a new queen attention whore willing to say stupid shit in order to gather attention. Michelle Malikn looks like a Filipino rebel terrorist and dressed like an idiot. That's sarcasm. Don't forget about this picture. Of course, we don't have to speculate that Malikn supports terrorism. She admits it. She just doesn't think that Israelis building racial colonies is terrorism. I do wonder how the news gets away with it for so long. If I was ever on a news show to talk about Israel, the first words out of my mouth would be that Israel builds settlements, aka Jewish-only towns and cities, by means of force in a land that is not part of Israel. And even if it was, it would still be wrong because A, you can't just demolish people's homes, B, murdering people is illegal anywhere in the world, and C, a city or town based on a race or ethnicity is insanely racist, and considering that it's protected by a standing army, we call that apartheid. How can settlements be justified? They can't. The best thing that MSM can do is just ignore it, like they're not there, and that Palestinians are just genetically crazy and attack Israelis for no reason at all, just religious bigotry, that's all. Remind me again which religion, Judaism or Islam, has the concept of a chosen race of God? Which religion is it again whose God promises his people real estate via the death of anyone else living there? Islam or Judaism? And which religion, as if it matters, has occupied that territory for the majority of history? Which country has used depleted uranium and cluster bombs? And which side demolishes homes not as acts of individual terrorists, but as issued as state policy? But you see, Judaism is linked to the Bible, and Islam rivals Christians in terms of numbers, where Jews never can because of the strict bloodline restrictions. And Islam outlaws usury, and now I think you're getting at the heart of the issue. It's not whose God said what any more than the Catholics and Protestants fought over that. It's about money. Protestant rebellion means the money they collected stayed at home instead of being centralized. That was the issue. The problem with Islam is it's hard to get an iron grip on people without running the central banking system or fractional reserve lending. But face it, the typical Christian bigot is not aware of any of that. They're willing to hate, and always have been, from the time of killing Indians and witches to today, whoever they're told to kill. In the words of a 12-year-old kid who was being sarcastic, how did our oil get under their sand? Michelle Malikn getting upset over some woman's scarf that she believed was an Arabic style, thus guilt by association, saying if you dress like one, you act like one, and they're all the same, of course. You know, you wear a scarf, you must be a jihad terrorist. Crazy. As someone else wrote on this forum, well, Adolf Hitler wore pants, so, you know, I don't want to see anybody wearing pants. They're supporting Nazis. Craziness. You know, if I live in Japan and we don't have Dunkin' Donuts, we have Mr. Donuts, pretty delicious. I actually prefer Krispy Kreme, but if I was in the US, I'd go to Dunkin' Donuts just because they had this and just to piss her off. I don't want to go to Starbucks, not because I think it's leftist, but because they donate money to Israel. Israel's an apartheid police state. They demolish homes of people and build racial colonies. Racial colonies in 2008. Absolutely fucking amazing that any nation in the world can just openly, ethnically cleanse another people, and that doesn't seem to matter. There couldn't possibly be violence in Israel because the Israeli army is building a wall into the West Bank, not on their border, but inside the West Bank, and stealing property by force, literally going in with bulldozers, destroying people's homes, and they're building new ones, not for Israelis, but for Israeli Jews, and Jews only, and not normal Jews, fanatic, right-wing, Zionist, Nazi-like. I hate to use that word, but that's what it is. They're for ethnic cleansing. They believe that that dirt belongs to Jews and Jews only. That is just as crazy as having land for Aryan Germans and Germans only, or whatever only. You cannot base a nation on an ethnic bloodline. That is totally racist. If you want to have a dominant culture, a certain language protected, that's fine. But a bloodline? Totally insane.